Alright guys, we are headed camping. It is supposed to rain. I checked the weather last night and it said it wasn't going to rain. Now it says scattered storms. But we're going to go for it and hope for the best. It is supposed to be a little bit hotter today than it was the last trip. But we'll see. I did get a new sleeping bag. I'm going to bring it. I don't think I'm going to set it up. I think I'll set up my summer bag as per usual, and then if it gets cold in the middle of the night, I'll break out the bigger sleeping bag. So we are headed to Walmart. I gotta get a couple of things, and then we're gonna figure out what we're doing for dinner because it's too hot. I don't want to cook, so I think I'm gonna do what I did last time where I just pick something up. So I'll catch you guys up in a little bit. Alright guys, I just stopped at Wingstop. I have found a new love for the corn that they have. I've been to Wingstop several times. I never ordered the corn until last time, and oh my god. Don't get the Cajun seasoning, get the Parmesan on it. So freaking good. Love it. Who needs wings when you got delicious corn? We are here now. It looks like a little bit bluer skies over here, but I just checked the radar, and we definitely have some rain coming in, but it went from saying it was going to rain for like 5 hours to now saying it's going to rain for 2.5 to 3 hours. So I don't want to get set up because I think in probably an hour we'll either get some sort of showers or thunderstorms or something. So I'm just going to get there. I did grab a tarp when I was at Harbor Freight because they were having a sale, so I'm gonna throw the tarp like over the bed of the truck so that like everything in there stays pretty dry. And then we're just gonna hang out. I'll grab out some of the stuff that I need to like keep nice and cool, but I gotta decide if I'm doing a hammock or if I'm doing the tent. I gotta figure that out. Alright, I just checked in and I found out that the settlement is open again. I'm so excited. It's been closed for a long time because of COVID. Basically, they had some of the buildings open before with like glass partitions so that you could see into the buildings without really touching anything. And then once COVID hit, they closed all the buildings. So all you could really do was look inside the windows. So this is new. These pictures weren't up before. Or at least I don't remember them being up.
His charismatic disputes, and then people left. And then they...
So I'm not going to film too much out here because I have a ton of videos filming in this area. So right in front of this big house is where I had my one and only paranormal experience out here on these grounds. We were out here. It was after dark. Probably weren't allowed to be out here, but we were. We were standing right there, or Haley was standing right here, and I was up there because I went up to the porch and then came back around, and I was using my Ghost app, and I was getting some pretty relevant responses from the Ghost app. And when Haley was standing here, I began to hear things like, it sounded kind of like the rocks were moving on the ground, like if you went like this with your foot. But she heard someone walking. I don't know where she heard it start at, but she heard them walking right towards her, clear as day, and she said, "I'm done." And when she said, "I'm done," she started walking towards the car. She said, "You can stay if you want to, I am done." I heard somebody walking towards me, and there ain't nobody else out here, so. But let's get in the truck. Let's head to our campsite. This is my setup. Didn't bring a whole lot. Got my chair strapped down right there. This box here just keeps jumper cables, towing cable. I think I have a rubber mallet in here and stuff. More like roadside stuff versus anything camping related. I don't know how shaky that this thing looks for you guys. It looks like it's really shaking. I have it on just my windshield phone mount, but it looks like it's bopping around. So this is the drive out of the settlement, and then we'll be going into the camping area. I'll show you one of my favorite parts, woods-wise, of this park. So you see there's like all this dead stuff around and like just pine trees and stuff, and then you get back in here and it's just gorgeous. It's like oak trees and it's shaded and it's beautiful, especially when it gets closer to wintertime. This area back here is so gorgeous. It's kind of creepy as you get around this corner here. It's just so like shaded and dark over here compared to the rest of the park. I really wish there was like camp spots in this area, but I understand like why there's not. You got to be really careful when you're driving through here, because a lot of times there'll be a big tortoise in the road or a big turtle, and there's always like wildlife kind of scurrying around. Speaking of wildlife, I see a little dude up ahead. This is kind of normally where he is at, or she, whatever it is, but he's crossing the road. Well, maybe he's crossing the road. He's just kind of in the road. Can you see him? He's right there. I don't want to scare him. So I can get up. He's not even going across the road. He's going down the road. This car has to wait. I have to wait now too. Alright guys, so I gotta be mindful because I've actually never been to this campsite before. The other ones I kind of have an idea of how I'm supposed to back into them. This one I don't have a clue. We're gonna try not to scratch up the truck. Okay. Alright. So now let's get out and get an idea of where we're going. This is my campsite, and so far there's nobody in that campsite over there, because I know you can kind of see over here. Ooh, this might be a good hammock spot. Alright guys, so this is what we ended up with. I'm almost wondering, ooh, I can hear thunder. I'm almost wondering if I hook my hammock to my bed rack and then to this one. I don't know. I can't decide. I have to figure out how long my hammock straps are and go from there. But yeah, I pulled the truck really far back in here. It's kind of cool with that. I have this much room. So I picked up this tarp fairly cheap from Harbor Freight. It's just a 5mm, nothing crazy, and it's camo, which is pretty cool. But I'm gonna cover up this with it. Just keep the water out of the bed of the truck. Update. I'm really bad at putting tarps over this by myself, because every time I go to put one side on, this side falls off, but I got it. So I'm just getting it bungeed down here to the side of the truck. And I made sure that I tucked it well back here, so the water that comes through here will go down, well, hopefully that's what happens. It doesn't go in the bed of the truck. That's the goal here, is to keep the water out of the bed of the truck. So I got that side down, and now I'm gonna get these edges here. So this is what we ended up with. I'm actually pretty happy with it. This handful of bungees. I can tell you now that this tarp is not gonna last. I can already see some holes in it, but if I get one more trip out of it, I think I'll be okay with that. Try to get all the bungees where they're not touching any of the paint, and I wrapped the tarp under this one, so bring it on. Bring it on, dark sky. I just found this on the picnic table. Commonwealth of the Bahamas, 1975. So I left these out because they'll be fine. If anything, it'll be good for them to get the tops washed. So I'm just gonna kind of hang out until it gets scary, really. All right, guys, it is starting to sprinkle, so it's not supposed to be a lightning storm or anything. I'm headed back to the bathrooms. I decided I am gonna shower. My legs are just really sweaty in these pants. The sky is so gray. People that came in 2 sites over from me, they were like getting all set up. They have like all their stuff out and it's getting ready to pour, so I feel bad. I'm gonna just wait it out. If I have to set my hammock up in the dark, that's no big deal. I got plenty of lights. Ooh, all right, let's get to the showers. Wasn't supposed to lighting. I guess thunder is okay. So I finished my shower, which is right around the corner there. And now I am hanging out in this little like washroom area. Sun is coming back out. The clouds are moving over. I checked the weather report and it should be passing very quickly. Still hear some thunder, but it's passing over us pretty fast. And you can see the sun coming out, even though it's raining. So as soon as it stops, we'll head back to the truck. That's why I don't wear Crocs. It's so weird to come to this campsite. I haven't been here so many times and never used this campsite. It's really kind of bizarre. Let's turn in this way. Got a couple puddles up here. Looks like our tarp is good. Got a couple candles going because bugs are definitely coming out. Did something a little different this time. I brought the Yeti cooler, but I also brought this little guy to keep some of my beer in. Seems to be doing okay so far. The top of the tarp did fill with water, so that's what this all is, was me getting it out of the tarp. Finally set up, broke out the Halloween lights. Got my solar lights ready to go, got the fans plugged in. Here's the bug thing I was talking about earlier. I couldn't tell you the name of this hammock I have. It's not an expensive one by any means. It's like a jungle hammock or something, but it has a bug net. And I like it. Eventually I will upgrade to a nicer hammock, but this one works just fine for me for now. I really think it's a jungle hammock. But these are aftermarket straps. I believe these are made by Eno. These are like the chrome straps or something like that. It cost about as much as the hammock did, but they work really nicely. Well, after talking crap about the original strapping that came with the hammock, I ended up having to use one of the pieces because mine are not long enough. I was originally going to go from that tree to that tree, but now I'm deciding I'm gonna go from that tree to that tree. I gotta get this figured out though, because that end's way too low. It is getting dark, and I got the hammock set up, and I decided to put this big old excessive tarp on top of it, simply because I could. I actually pulled the line tight using a ratchet strap. It's not overly tight, obviously, but made it a little easier, and just hang out. Watching some Steve Wallace. I've had a little raccoon friend that's been coming around. I haven't seen him. One thing I will say I did right this trip is I remembered my slides. I have them on now, and I'm very thankful that I brought them. My tent has some condensation on it, or my tarp. See it there, which is not great. I'm gonna put my sleeping bag in here. Already got my little pillow. So I decided that even though I might get a little hungry later, I'm gonna go ahead and get this food out of my campsite. did change my mind and I started a fire. I spent a lot of time cutting this wood, so I figured might as well use it a little bit. Also, it helps with the bugs, so that'll be nice. Oh look, my raccoon friend is now on the other side. Does he just not see that I'm here, or does he not? Oh, buddy. Almost would I? I am in bed now and getting settled down for the night. Gonna turn on a movie and see you in the morning. Another successful night in the books. I have to say that's probably the worst night of sleeping I've had while camping. Ended up getting mosquitoes all over me, even though I had a citronella candle close by. So I ended up flipping it over and putting up the bug net at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I just kept waking up. So I think I need to just learn a little bit more about how to set up my hammock properly, or I need to get a little bit better quality hammock.